Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh, what was that sweet, sweet sound?
It sounded good, right? It's
yeah,
like
that did
ASMR.
sound.
It is I'm embarrassed to say the name. It's called a skinny dip. It was in my fridge. It looked good.
I was thinking, you don't know whose it was?
No idea.
Oh.
There's a lot of random items in our fridge. And I just if it's been there for more than 2 weeks, I feel like that's fair game.
Well, that's interesting. Hey, John, why don't you hit that intro for us?
This is On Air with... Oh, geez. I mean, this is Almost On Air with Erica and Jon.
Wow, take a sip of that skinny dip.
That skinny dip.
Yep, that
hey
old
guys,
skinny
welcome
dip.
to another edition of Almost On Air.
Almost.
I'm Jon.
I'm Erica.
And we are much less wine drunk today.
So much 0%. Less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it truly. You know what's funny is when you opened that can, in my mind I was like, is he having a beer? And then I was like, it's 11:45 in the morning. So
there is alcohol in this, however. I just listen. I was like, you know what? I had a coffee this morning. I didn't want to OD on coffee. Just too much caffeine's aggressive.
What about water?
Oh, that's a good option. Yeah, I don't know. I love water actually. I drink so much water during the day. But I feel like podcast is fun time. So I either got to have a coffee or perhaps an alcoholic beverage. I don't know. I just feel like it just contributes to the fun. You know.
So are you basically drinking a White Claw right now?
Essentially, it's a passion fruit white wine spritz. That's embarrassing. I don't know whose this is. This is terrible. I think it's because
this is in the house, come claim it, because
I think I just got too excited by our wine night last week, which oh my god, that just slapped me hard in the face.
Oh, right. You weren't expecting to be pretty hungover the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just wine, so I was like, I mean, it's not hard out. It can't be that bad.
Right.
And then I finished the bottle. We ended the podcast. And I ordered a pizza, and then a good 30 minutes later, I was sitting in bed watching WandaVision, eating pizza, and I was texting you, and I was like, "Wait, I'm drunk."
Yeah.
Wait, what happened? This is not okay.
It is what it is, Jon, and welcome to the wine life.
Yeah. We'll have to do it again.
It was very fun. We'll definitely do it again. I think we're planning on doing a St. Patrick's Day drinking evening.
Extravaganza.
Okay.
I would enjoy it.
Hopefully maybe less wine, more beer on that day.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Green beer. We did that last year over Instagram Live, I think.
I didn't drink green beer. I was drinking Bud Light or something.
Oh, I for sure drank green beer. Because all you got to do is get green food coloring. And I think I put way too much in mine because my teeth were green for 24 hours.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
Not great. Honestly, not the best. But you got to do things in theme. I'm sorry. I didn't come up with St. Patrick's Day, but I have to abide by the rules of the leprechaun.
Yeah, the rules of a leprechaun?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the rules of a leprechaun.
It's got to be.
Sure. Hey, is that spider still on your ceiling?
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. We should probably name him, actually.
I like the idea. Well, see, he's dead, so I'm less interested in naming him now that he's been murdered.
I feel like that spider's like a painter. You know how painters only
so he's
get
Michelangelo
famous when they're dead? Isn't that a thing with artists? They only really know them when they're dead. No artist that's alive. Can you name an artist right now?
What?
Can you name an artist? A current living artist?
Banksy.
Who?
Banksy.
Okay. I'm wrong.
Thank you.
I got a lot of responses on that spider, though.
I think you should name him Michelangelo because didn't Michelangelo paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling? And so he was upside down.
The best thing I have heard all day already. It's only 11 a.m. But
right.
I still think that's the
bar's low, but
no, his name's Michelangelo. I love it.
Done deal.
Oh my God, Erica, that was fantastic.
Me with some art facts on you.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, Michelangelo. Oh, you look at him up there.
I'm just waiting for someone to DM us and be like, "Hey, Erica, that's actually not who painted the ceiling of whatever chapel it was," but we'll see.
Wait, it might have been Da Vinci? No, it's for sure Michelangelo.
You're thinking of the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. Great book.
Yeah. Never read it. Okay, well, I'm glad he's still there, I guess. I think I'd actually prefer that he wasn't. Are you worried about that being on the internet now?
What do you mean? Michelangelo's newfound fame?
Just in case someone that you were dating wanted to look you up and that's what they find.
Here's what you don't understand. I'm not embarrassed. I stand by this. This is a thing. I actually got a lot of people DM me, and I'm not even going to lie. A lot of people were like, you probably shouldn't show girls that.
Thank you.
But
That's what I'm saying.
I had actually only one person DM me on my side and said they did the same exact thing in their bathroom. There was a spider above them in the shower or something, and they killed it and left it there. And it's like a warning to other spiders. And I was like, thank you.
I give you some pass because my sister DM'd me and said her boyfriend does the same thing with scorpions.
Right.
There's
I
a lot of
love
scorpions in Arizona, and I guess he kills them and says leave them as a warning.
Kills that. So does it work, though, is the question.
I don't know. I don't have the answer on that.
I don't have the answers either, but I have my answer, and I'm doing the right thing here. So if you want to see that, you can go anywhere on the internet. I am not ashamed. This is a magical and foolproof plan to protect myself during sleep.
I hope that whoever you find someday embraces this part of you.
You got to embrace everybody. There's a lot to accept here, honestly.
I get it. Me too, man. Me too. And so far, not finding them. So
We'll get there. We'll get there, Erica. We're young.
no, see, and we're going to talk about this more in depth after one other thing. Are we that young anymore?
I'm going to say yes, but also no.
Okay, that's not an answer. I'm going to say yes, perhaps, also maybe not.
That is literally a John answer right there.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to say yes, we are young, but hot take here. I also think we're adults.
So we're young adults.
Not young adults. I think that's
Guess
the
what?
perfect description.
18-year-olds are young adults.
No, they're not. They're children. I'm sorry.
They are considered in the book world young adults.
Listen, I don't read books often, so I'm not going to consider the book world to be my real life.
Much. I don't do the reading. Anyway.
I'm unaware.
Okay. Well, that's that. I want to take this test. So I sent Jon this thing this morning and said, I think we should do this on air. And on air. As if someone is listening to this live right now.
No, I love that you said that, though, because for those who are watching the video here, Erica is at home and she's building this home studio that is in progress.
Yes.
And I, too, am trying to make updates to my at-home studio.
Yes.
Behind me, there used to be a TV. It was just like super black. You could see my ring. It was just terrible. So I got rid of it and I put this nice like
bad.
wood, not gonna lie, wallpaper. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like now I have all this room. I could put like an on-air little sign over there.
Oh, you could.
Even though we're not really on air, it's like a podcast. But still, I feel like we could put an almost on it and make it in theme.
Do you think that people consider us on air when we're doing this? Like we said that on air?
My
we're
friends
not on
do.
air.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't really know the correct terminology. I'm not sure if it's. I guess it's on air. Like we're over the airwaves.
I don't know.
And
We'll
we're
have to think
on.
about this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said I want to take this test. So there's this thing going around TikTok where you take a test to find it's like your personality color test, like what the vibe of your personality is. And
so this
apparently
isn't the same colored personality test that you take normally, right? I feel like some businesses pay for this, and it's like you're orange, blue, gold.
I don't think this is the same.
You never took that one?
I think it's going to give us something like spritzer. Okay, I only said
that's
that.
not a
'cause-
color, first of all.
No, but I'm
Spritzer?
pretty sure that it will give us a color and the name is going to be something like that. Like I saw like Ocean Bay was like an option.
I kind of like that, Ocean Bay.
Okay, so
Okay,
take the
I'm
test with me, would you?
I'm sold.
Okay. And apparently it's only 12 questions. So we're going to read the questions. I don't know if they're going to be in the same order. Have you gotten to the start page yet?
No, I don't even know. Wait, did you send me the link?
Are you kidding? Yes.
No.
Here.
Wait, where? Slack?
I'll Slack it to you again.
Oh my God, you already sent it to me? Oh, this is bad.
I sent it to you a while. I mean,
Where did you find this test?
I found it on a New York Post. And I don't know. I found it online.
Okay, I thought it was a
But people are doing it on TikTok. Did you see that link I just sent you?
Yeah, no, I'm clicking it right now. We're good.
Okay.
Personality color test.
Yep.
All right, I'm in.
Make sure you scroll down to the English one if that's an option.
Man. Okay, scrolling down, English. Whoa, there's a bunch of different languages.
Yeah. Guys,
No,
when
but
I
like
tell him
usually-
to scroll down to
usually it's like
English and then he's
English,
shook.
Spanish, and French, I feel like are the classic things that you get all the
Sure.
time. This has got a lot of them that I don't know. And how come I can't find English? Is it just go-to test?
Yeah. Because I sent you the English link, I'm realizing. Okay, what's your first question?
Okay, first question. How do you behave in front of your friends?
Okay,
I
good.
talk to
So
them
our
first.
questions are the same.
They are the same. Perfect. How do you behave in front of your friends? I talk to them first, or most of the time, other friends talk to me first?
I talk to them first.
Same.
What do you enjoy doing on the weekend? I'd rather stay home. I enjoy meeting people.
I enjoy meeting people.
What do you think I am? That's what I'm not sure anymore.
I think On weekends, I think most of the time you would rather stay home.
It's hard to say because of quarantine. Like, yes, in quarantine, I'd rather stay home.
Yeah, this is not a quarantine-specific test, though.
Then I enjoy meeting people.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. I'm just hoping that all of our answers aren't the same.
Isn't that crazy? We like lived through a pandemic. Like,
yes.
Wait, what? You know?
Yes. I don't know.
Like, this is gonna be a thing forever, and we're gonna look back and be like, oh my god, like we lived through that. Like,
remember that time? Yeah.
Like, it's March. I literally haven't been to a show in over a year.
I know.
Like,
it's so sad.
And I won't consider this pandemic over until I'm in a crowd at a show. Then it's
I feel
over.
you.
You know?
Yep.
Anyway, what kind of atmosphere do you like when you play with your friends? A little noisy and exciting atmosphere, or I like to have conversations with a few friends in a calm atmosphere.
Okay. I'm the second one.
I'm the noisy.
Right. What is more important to you? If I don't think about the future, there will be no progress. Or without the present, there is no future.
If I don't think about the future, there will be no progress.
Yeah, I think I'm the same there.
Nice. What situations are comfortable for you when you work? It's better to follow what others do, or it's better to make my own way?
I think, God, I feel somewhere right in the middle of these.
I like to learn a system first, and then I like to tweak it to the best way that I see fit. So I'm going to go.
So you're more the first?
Rather make my own way, actually.
What?
Wait, that's what it asked.
You'd rather make your own way?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm that way too because I'm a bit headstrong at work.
Perhaps a little bit.
So I'm going to go with that. What do people say about you? I often hear that I'm consistent and patient. I often hear that I'm creative. I think we're both the creative one.
Nice. Yeah, I would say you're pretty consistent and patient, though. I'll give it to you.
You think I'm patient?
With me.
That's true. We talked about this last week.
Yeah. How do you tell someone no? I gently decline after thinking about it, or I firmly tell them no? I gently decline. I have what's it called?
Firmly no, girl.
Issues.
Yeah, you really don't like confrontation.
I don't like confrontation at all. Yeah. I'd rather just like let it go.
How do you behave when you're angry? I argue while talking logically, or I have a lot to say, but I'm so angry that I'm tearing up. Click. What about you?
I would like to believe I argue while talking logically.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really seen you angry at me, so it's hard to say, but I would agree with that.
I'm not angry much.
Yeah.
Your friend is complaining about their problems. You think it's their fault. How do you tell them? Do I tell my friend it's their fault? Or do I worry that my friend will get mad if I speak bluntly?
I think I'm the second one for as blunt as I am.
I'm not going to lie. I am also the second one. I would love to be able to just tell someone straight up you're wrong. And sometimes I will. But
I like to hint to them that they might be wrong, but I don't like to.
Hey, idiot. Like, you're wrong.
Yeah, no. Okay. How do you prepare for a project? I prepare last minute, but I wanted to do it yesterday. Or I prepare a day in advance.
Oof. I think it just depends on the project.
There
are some weeks, I'm working on this podcast on a Monday, and there are some weeks this morning.
Right. I think I'm pretty procrastinator. I feel like every time I'm like, yeah, John, let's record at this time. And then it comes time and I'm like, I haven't even put on makeup. So
I agree.
I'm going last minute.
You were going to go home and study, but your friend wants to study together. How do you react? Okay, life doesn't go as planned. Let's go. Or it will ruin my plans. I can't.
It will ruin my plans. I can't.
Let's do it together. Let's go.
I know you are. You're on vacation. How do you start the day? I do what comes to mind when I think of it. I like to be flexible, or I make a list of all the things I want to do, then do them.
This is such a vacation thing for me. I don't like to plan vacations at all.
I do.
I would like to have a list.
This is the last question too.
Nice. Oh, God.
Okay.
I already hate my color.
What? What's your color?
Dandelion.
Wait, there's a Casey Musgraves song called Dandelion, and it's such a good song.
I'm pretty sure there's a Galantis song called Dandelion too, and it kind of slaps. So I'm just going to go with that.
Galantis.
Yeah.
Okay, will you read me the little description?
Absolutely. I have lots of ups and downs in my emotions, but I'm active and very timid. I don't trust this. Let's see. I can be nice to people because my feelings are shown on my face. I'm a free soul, so I'm distracted. Okay. And I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm not good at making work or finishing things up. And if someone doesn't do it, I'll step up. I feel like this is like a very hit or miss thing for me.
Yeah, like half of it's very right and half of it's not.
Yeah. See, the only thing I trust is the Enneagram test. That's like my go-to.
Okay.
What's your color?
My color is called Dony, Doeny.
Okay, what color is it closest to?
Oh, I see. My little box is the color that I am.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a sage green with like a little bit of blue in it.
Okay, so it's like a seafoam green?
A little bit. It's like slightly darker than a seafoam green. Yeah.
Nice.
It's very pretty. It says, I have a great ability. I have a great ability to move people with words. I speak beautifully and I have a charm that leads people with words. So I like interpersonal relationships and I am popular around me. By the way, I think that some of these have been translated from another language. So
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I also would agree with a lot of that. I think yours is more accurate than mine.
It's trusted by everyone. I think this means everyone understands that I'm very sensitive and sometimes I can't make objective judgments because I'm overwhelmed by by my emotions. I get annoyed when I feel bad and suffer from regret and guilt later on. I'm in a group, but I do it my way. I have a lot of affection, but if I get betrayed, I don't deal with it anymore. I'm very positive and talk easily to people I've never seen before. I'm popular and active, but I become most depressed person when I am stressed out. Nailed it.
Wow, I'm surprised that 12 question thing nailed you so good.
Yeah.
Wow, that was aggressive language, but you get the point.
I understand what you're saying. What kind of color is dandelion?
It's like a yellow.
Is it like a muted yellow or like a pretty bold yellow?
It kind of looked like a sunflower yellow. And like fun fact here, I think yellow is my least favorite color in the entire spectrum.
That's funny because this is actually like the color I would go to if I'm like looking for dresses for things. And like this is right in my alley.
I literally am looking in my closet. I don't think I own a single thing yellow. I get
yellow's
yellow.
A weird color to wear.
It's weird. Like it's just in between dark and light. It's actually more on the light side, but I feel like there's just not enough personality with yellow, and I just don't love it. I don't know.
Yellow is like the boldest color you can have.
Okay, maybe it's yellow on a guy. I would rather wear pink than yellow.
Look up, later, just look up the photo of Dan Levy from the Golden Globes this weekend. He's in, I think, like a Valentino suit, and it's kind of like a lime green yellow situation, and it's beautiful.
Okay, there's lime green and there's yellow.
No, but you'll see when you look it up.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But I don't hate the color yellow as like your vibe.
No,
because it's like punchy and
it's like sunshine. You light
I wouldn't
up the
call you
room.
sunshine, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't really love yellow.
All right. Well, that was fun. I'm sorry that you hate your color so much.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pissed.
God.
That was a waste of my time. But yours was actually pretty accurate. So I'll give
it was good. So, ladies, maybe you should take the test. I don't really know.
I enjoy finding new colors though, because I feel like sometimes when I'm introduced to new colors, I get attached to the name of them. Like I thought dandelion was a flower, and yet it is. I didn't know you could pick something as dandelion in a color. Like seafoam green, get out of here. You know, like I know what it is now because I heard it, but like.
Right, but if someone said seafoam green and you had never seen the color, you probably could figure it out.
I don't think I could. That's what pisses. Like, I would rather just start with it's a kind of light green.
John, the moment you said dandelion, I knew it was going to be yellow.
If you would have told me dandelion, I would not have thought yellow.
What color would you have thought?
Purple.
What?
I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't know my flowers. I've never seen a dandelion.
Dandelions are the ones that you blow.
Oh, shut up. Wait, to Make-A-Wish flowers? Oh my God, yes. I love those. That's not yellow, that's white.
No, I know, but somehow it has the essence.
The essence. Oh my God. What do you mean? They're white. They're white with a green stem. Dandelion would be a form of off-white.
No, listen, John, listen. If you are picturing running around and picking up a dandelion, right? Like this is in your head. What kind of day is it outside?
Picking it. We have them in our front yard. It's like a nice summer June day where it's not too hot. Maybe some White Claws out front. And I just came home and like there's a chair on the lawn. I'm like, oh, dude, there's a dandelion. And then I pick one up. I make a super dope wish. And then we enjoy our Saturday.
And what color does that feel like to you?
Green. Because I'm on the lawn. It's like more green than yellow. Even when the sun is shining, like the sun is yellow, but like the light isn't yellow. You know?
It's just a vibe that I
Okay,
can't.
I
It's
get
an
the whole vibe
essence
thing.
that I can't explain.
Listen, I will not argue that yellow is a vibe. I get yellow being your color. It's very bright. I like that. I don't think dandelion represents yellow. Who made this test?
I don't know.
Well, I have a bone to pick with them.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I don't even know how to pronounce my color. So does that make you feel better?
Actually, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
made up
Doheny.
Wait, spell it again.
Doeny.
Wait, I think that's a beach and
No,
Orange
there's
County.
an H in that. Doheny.
Oh
Beach.
yeah,
Yeah. But
Close
like
enough.
this is a beachy color.
Okay,
So I
Nice.
don't know. It's kind of the color of my water bottle.
okay, I don't hate it.
Yeah. Anywho, we just honestly like the scene you just described when you are seeing a dandelion really leads me to exactly what we want to talk about today. And it is the Peter Pan syndrome and being an adult and whether we're adults or not. And the fact that I pictured getting a dandelion as like being a little girl, like running through like a park and grabbing a dandelion. John, so it's like a very distant memory for me. John pictured it as a current June day with his buddies on the lawn picking dandelions. So I do wonder, do you know the definition of the Peter Pan syndrome?
Actually don't. And I didn't look it up because I looked up a bunch of things that I did want to bring to this podcast, but I actually didn't look up the Peter Pan syndrome definition.
Okay. Do you want me to read it to you?
I would love it.
Okay. Peter Pan syndrome describes one's inability to believe that they are of an older age or to engage in behavior usually associated with adulthood. This syndrome affects people who do not want or feel unable to grow up. People with the body of an adult but the mind of a child.
Okay.
I don't think you have the mind of a child per se.
I do, but I have issues with this, and we'll go into it in a minute. But like, I think from what you just described, there isn't a big problem to me. I think I just looked it up right now. I was like Googling it as you were describing it.
Yeah.
And as it goes on, it gives the issues with having the mind of a child. It's the lack of responsibilities, the inability to commit. It's excessive care with the way that they look and their lack of self-confidence. And that, I agree, is a problem of a child mind. But I think there are many benefits to having a mind similar to a child.
Okay. I also don't necessarily feel like you have those issues except for maybe the lack of commitment one.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't mean in relationships. I mean that you have like this
that's a good
fear
point.
of committing to a future.
It's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
we've
will give
talked
you
about
that.
this.
Yep.
Also, it's not all you. I feel like maybe sometimes we all go through phases of this, of being like, wait, I don't want to grow up.
So my question is,
what?
there are dandelions in your childhood, but there are also dandelions in my adult life. First of all, I don't think it's wrong to me just to have picked a Saturday, Like, I don't have a lot of childhood memories with dandelions. Like, I wasn't like 12 years old playing baseball, picking dandelions in left field,
Yeah, 12 feels a little old for that.
Okay, I wasn't 8 doing it either,
Okay.
Anyways, I do think it's a good topic because, A, you just moved back home, and so you're kind of wondering, like, what is it supposed to be like to be an adult, right?
Yeah.
And similar to what you mentioned, I am very passionate about the things I'm passionate about, and a lot of the lifestyle choices I make sometimes get viewed by others as childish to some degree.
Okay. I would like to put on the record at this moment, I don't think
Okay.
you are childish.
Nice.
I think you are really, really, really loving where you've been for maybe the last 4 years, and you don't want to grow out of that.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that's what I just want to like put that on. I don't think you're childish. I think you're like you want to be like this feeling of being in your 20s for a long time.
So let me break it down for you for a minute.
Okay.
Because although there is some degree to wanting to be in my 20s, I think there's a lot of it that I just don't want to let go of ever. And it's not necessarily 20s based, but it is kind of perceiving the world through a child's eyes based. Okay. So
Okay.
we took some polls for our followers.
Yes.
Or our listeners. And we asked, are you afraid of getting older? And 49% yes, 34% said no. Getting older is my biggest fear in life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It was 53 votes yes, 37 votes no. I was like,
you might have gotten an updated one. I took it a couple hours ago.
okay.
So maybe some extra people voted. So even more said yes. My biggest fear, I'm not I've like made this no secret. My biggest fear in life, period, is getting old and growing up. Like I don't want to fall apart. I don't want to forget things. I don't want my body to be unable to keep up with what my mind wants to do. I don't like the feeling of life being over.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Is it those things or is it getting older and not doing what you wanted to do?
So here's the thing. I don't think there are specific things right now that like I need to do. And there are. And even if I do them, that's great. But I don't think there's a specific list. I want to be able to do anything. And I think that is my problem. Everything.
Yes, okay.
Anything and everything. So if I get old and let's say I accomplished everything on my immediate list that I write for you right now, that's great. But I don't want to stop there. Like I want to go back and be able to like, oh, if I want to do these other things that young people do that I just decided now I'd love to experience, like go backpacking across Europe or whatever it is. I don't want my body and my life to be too old for that. And that scares me.
And that's your fear of committing to the future.
And that is part of my fear to committing to the future because who knows what I'm going to want to do then, which could be a downfall, and I agree. However, let me break this down for you. So then we asked, do you feel like an adult to people?
Right.
And 70% said no, and 30% said yes.
Yeah.
But
and you know what's funny? That I believe that 90% of our followers are right around our age group.
I would agree.
And I was shocked that even 30% of them feel like adults. And I have friends who responded yes. And I'm like, oh, right. That's because it was specifically my friend Trevor I saw said yes. And I get it because he recently bought a house and he's getting married in 2 months. And like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that starts to feel like an adult.
I agree. So here's my hot take, though. I think I am an adult. I do feel like an adult. And I think that most of our followers
You feel like an adult?
I do. I really do.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to get into this because this is one of the topics we brainstormed a long time ago. We were trying to decide one of the many things we would talk about on our podcast this season. And I feel so passionately about this, like so passionately. It's something I've felt for a long time, and I really want to explore this a little bit with you because I think it matters. And I would like to argue that most of our listeners are also adults. I really do think that. Even
Everyone
if you don't
is
feel like it,
technically
I think that you are.
adults. Yeah.
And I kind of want to change the perception of what that means.
Okay.
So I want to dive into a couple of things. One, what makes you an adult? What is it to be mature? What does that exactly mean? Why do we care? And does it actually matter? And first of all, like what makes you a mature adult? So like some of the answers I thought were kind of funny. It was like Rachel said, filling your gas tank before it gets down to 5 miles until empty. Like
totally.
Dude, like I never learned that, you know, so
right.
That's definitely a good one. One was like handling their business without sharing their life to the world.
Oh, Nelly. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Like, we have a podcast.
Yeah, like like I handle my business right here, right now.
Totally. But on a serious note, it's easy to say things like buying a house, or Shannon said having a 401k, or Daniel said whether or not you're still on your parents' insurance. And I don't think those things make you a grown-up. I don't think those things make you mature. I think those things are societal indicators that someone is grown up. But I think we rely on a lot of those signs too much to distinguish who is and isn't a grown up. So I think it's important to distinguish two different things: the signs that you judge that someone might be a grown up, and then the actual values and character traits that make someone a grown up. And sometimes like those things are completely different, and they may lead you in a wrong direction if you're judging the wrong things. So like I think being an adult, being mature, being a grown up is maturity in your relationships and your personal life and your goals. And I remember I was taking this one psychology class in college, and they were kind of going into this a little bit, and they were like, what does it mean to be an adult? And there was this one excerpt from a book, and I actually found it, so I was able to bring a couple of those here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like this has been on my mind for a long time because I remember the day I was in this class, and I was like, that makes sense. And it just like kind of changed my comfortability in myself and my thought process. So they said adult characteristics are broken down into a couple of things, and there's a bunch of different ways that you can spin this, but essentially here are the main things. First is rationality, because adults experience their emotions, but when it comes to their actions, they make rational decisions based on their self-interest and their moral concerns. So that's like you can feel a lot of things and you can act on your emotions, but it really takes an adult to understand that sometimes those emotions aren't necessarily the best option for you, and you need to think more rationally than just with your emotions.
And that if you feel them, that doesn't mean that's how you react.
Exactly. Okay. So someone can harm you, and that's like you can feel like you want to punch them back and act violently or whatever that may be.
Yeah.
But the ability to have that self-control and take a step back for a minute and say, I'm not going to do that. This is the correct avenue to deal with these emotions. That is one of the key factors that makes someone an adult. I would agree.
I would totally agree.
So the next one is formulating and implementing goals. So they say that adults formulate goals and they take the appropriate actions to achieve them. So they respect and establish their own priorities in life, and people who are stuck in a child's mindset, they often fail to respond to events that are crucial to their well-being. This could probably go to substance abuse, for example, or if you want to or if you want to set examples for the goals that you want to achieve in life, you at least can put yourself on a track to get there. And like sometimes when you're a child, like you don't necessarily want to follow through with those things. You're like, the life is happening to you rather than you taking advantage of it.
Okay.
The next one is equality in relationships. So adults seek relationships where they can benefit each other. So this one was really interesting. A child's perspective obviously assumes the role of parent or child in relation to their loved ones. So This is, I feel like, a good one because this is a good indicator that sometimes grown-ups that you view as grown-ups aren't necessarily acting in the ways of a mature adult.
Sure.
Everyone knows those people who are like, they could be like a 45-year-old guy who acts like a child in his relationship. Or
like the guys who demand that like the woman has to, or where the women take care of them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I would argue that that guy is more of a child than a guy that like is sleeping in a race car bed but is able to have great relationships, has goals, put the team on his back.
Sure. I have a hard time with the race car bed, but
race car bed's a little excessive.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. So there are a couple more. There was basically one that's like active versus passive, and adults are proactive. They don't feel victimized by life. They don't dump problems onto everyone else. They are in control of their own life rather than think that life's happening to them. They're self-aware, so they're able to emotionally understand themselves and develop a path to be able to master their own vices and virtues. And then personal power, which is they understand that they don't have control over their thoughts and feelings, that sometimes you can't control what comes to your thoughts in the middle of the day, you know, but you can control how you choose to act upon them. So they're all about the same thing. So basically, the moral of the story here is, I think that being an adult is understanding yourself, is being able to follow commitments. You know, commitments is definitely a good one. And to be able to understand who you are and the goals that you want and basically have your life handled. But I don't think that all the indicators matter as much. I don't think that if you're in your 20s and you're still going out all the time, so long as you have a great job, so long as you're killing your relationships, you're following through with the things that you promise, if you're doing all those things, I don't think that makes you any less of an adult.
I don't think so, but I do think that the more that you grow and you're self-aware and you're thinking of others and you're not just reacting to things, a lot of those indicators probably fall into place. Not necessarily like the going out one, but you know, if you have goals you want to reach and you continue to reach them, then eventually you're probably going to end up off your parents' insurance. And then you're probably going to start filling up your car when, you know, it's on 25 miles versus 5, that kind of thing. I think it happens naturally.
And I think that that's why I'm not mad at the indicators. Like, I'm not mad at it because if you do see someone who is able to buy a house or drives a nice car, you can assume that in order to get those things in life and get to the place that they're in, they were able to master a lot of the things that make a mature adult. You can assume.
Or their parents babied them and gave them a lot of money.
Exactly.
And that's
I think
a difference.
It's dangerous territory to kind of write this as a rule. I think it's dangerous territory to write this as a rule and say that if you're off your parents' insurance and you have a 401k, that makes you an adult.
Right. It's like, no, maybe people just gave that to you.
Yes, 100%. And even if they didn't, even if there's another reason and those people aren't mature emotionally, I think you're making judgments based on not knowing someone completely. And I think that's wrong. I think that's dangerous.
No, I agree. It's interesting what you were saying about I think the self-awareness is probably, to me, the biggest indicator. And I mean, I'll speak about it 100 times over again and again, but like my decision to go back to therapy after a couple years away from it was an adult decision. And that was because I was like, I have relationship things that hurt me that I need to handle.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's like, I knew if I didn't handle it, I would just let kind of history repeat itself over and over again. And so instead, it was a choice to go and handle it. And I think that's like a very adult decision. But, you know, I also was thinking when you were talking about feeling your emotions and understanding what they are and not necessarily just reacting based off of them, even though you know what they are.
Right.
There's that part of us that I think you can probably understand is on a normal day to day, we're probably able to do that, right?
Mhm.
But when you are like very hurt by something, or something really surprises you, or even if it's the emotion is excited. So I think sometimes we revert to like the childlike response when we're surprised by something.
I think that's a human thing, but there's a difference between something drastic happened and you're responding, as opposed to that's how you respond every time you hit
Yes.
a roadblock in life, you know,
Totally.
every single day. Like everyone had, like, we are emotional people. We are human, you know, like we're
Yeah.
not going to be able to rationalize through everything. We have a fight or flight system. Like we have these things that evoke these responses in us. And I think that's fine, but you can at least try to take as much control as you can over them.
Right. It's just, it's such an interesting, because I definitely consider myself, well, I definitely consider myself an adult, but then I think about how I felt lately with like temporarily moving home and just feeling like maybe I don't have it as together as I thought.
But to me, that doesn't make you an adult. Like just because you're living on your own, that doesn't make you an adult. I would much
Right.
rather hang out with you, someone who is a good person, you know, has their life together, has goals. And even though you haven't met them yet, you have those goals. You know, like
Right.
I would much rather associate myself with you than someone who's sure, like maybe has a great job. They're living on their own, you know, they have a 401k and all this stuff, but they're just like shitty to hang out with. You know,
Yeah.
like they react violently or they react emotionally to everything, and like they're a terrible person. They don't understand who they are. They're not a great friend. They don't reciprocate. To me, that's immaturity. I wouldn't want
Right.
to hang out with that person.
Well, I'm super glad that you'd rather hang out with me than a terrible person.
Yeah, I just mean like there's a spectrum, of course, but like
Of
the
course,
things that
yeah.
I value are who you are as an individual more than where you are in life. And I think where you are in life was a great indicator maybe in our parents' time when, you know, they could pull all these things together at an earlier age.
Yeah.
But like today, it's just harder. And like that's not a gauge of you being an adult.
yeah.
I think a lot of my friends are adults. And like sometimes, I mean, there's sometimes like being guys, we don't know how to cook things. And like that's something we can work on.
right.
But I think like even a lot of the people I hang out with, we sometimes get judged by some of our other friends because some of our other friends are getting married. They are about to start families. They're not going out that much. And a lot of my, you know, closer friends that we do go out with go out like pretty often. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
sometimes we get viewed as more immature from our friends, but I just don't think that's the case. I feel like
I
we're all
applaud
killing
you,
it in our
to
careers.
be honest.
Huh?
I applaud you. I wish I had the energy.
And the energy is a thing, but I think that comes from, I mean, it comes from multiple things, I'm sure, but I use my roommate as a great example because I'm so amazed, and everyone I know is so amazed with where he is. And it's my roommate, Kyle. He's a teacher, right?
Mhm.
And in college, he was the guy that was going out multiple days a week. He was the guy
Okay.
that was sometimes the wildest at the party, but he had the highest GPA in the entire fraternity 3 out of
wow.
the 4 years that we were there. Like he just would bust it out. He would find time. He would spend his entire day doing homework so he could go out at night.
Right.
And then he got a teaching job right out of college. He just won Teacher of the Year. Like he's killing it. He's killing it more than any of my other friends that are teachers right now. And he's also the most reckless sometimes. And I think that balance matters. You know what I mean?
I think so too.
It's hard to judge someone saying that you're immature when they seem to have a lot of their life together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kyle is really funny. I have not actually met Kyle, but I know Kyle because of you. And
Right.
he is what makes me think of like, you know, when you're younger and you have teachers and you don't think they're like going out on the weekends and stuff.
Totally,
And then you're
totally.
like, oh my God, our teachers were Kyle's. Like,
Yeah. And like, he's still that guy. You know,
they
like
still
there's-
had a life. Yeah.
and he's still, exactly. He still does have a life, and so do my other teacher friends, which is just the
Of
funniest
course,
thing
yeah.
to think about.
It is. Yeah.
Because, you know, their kids are in middle school, and like in middle school, 27 seems like a severe adult. you know?
Totally.
I'd believe my 27-year-old teacher was just sitting at home on the weekends.
Yeah. And really, no, they probably vomited at least once from alcohol during your school year.
Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
did. And like, I love that, you know, like
I
that's
know.
amazing to me because there's so much beauty in adulthood and maturity because it can make you a better person to yourself, a better person to the people around you, and a better person to your community and like the people in the world. Like it can make you more of a benefit. But at the same time, I think there's so much beauty in never losing that imaginative, adventurous side of looking at the world through a child's lens and finding the little things that make you happy and just chasing them and going after it.
What do you think about you? Sorry if you can hear the garage opening.
Not at all,
by the way. What do you think about like something you have that you still consider childish or whatever?
I mean, a great example, first of all, the spider on my ceiling, like, was a big one. But, like,
That's
here's
true.
a great example, okay? I've been in an internal debate lately because I wanted to buy glow-in-the-dark stars for my ceiling in my room.
Did I tell you not to? I'm going to feel bad.
Multiple people told me not to.
Okay.
And, like, here's the thing. I get it. I kind of agree, right? But at the same time, I love space, and it would genuinely make me happy. Like, I would literally look up at my ceiling and, like, who cares? You know? Like,
Are you going to put them up, like, in the constellations and stuff?
I mean, that would actually be a genius idea that I didn't think of until this very moment. Very proud of you.
You didn't think of it. I did.
I know. That's, yeah. I'll take credit, though. But, like, I remember I was at the store a couple of weeks ago, and I grabbed him, and I, like, was in the aisle to check out, and then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm 27. Like, I don't need these stars on my ceiling. Like, it's definitely not something I need. This is for sure like an 8-year-old's room, maybe. But at the same time, it's kind of cool. And, like, I can make it work, you know? I ended up putting them back. But, like, even if
I think you should go get them.
I probably should.
Yeah. Because when you say it like that, I think about, okay, so I'm living at home right now with the hopes that I can get my own apartment when I move back into the Los Angeles area and when we're back in the office and all of those things. I really, when I think about, like, decorating my own apartment, I'm like, I want to make it exactly what I want. I want there to be, like, the unicorn lamp from the child section in Target.
Hell yeah.
And, like, I want, like, a pink KitchenAid, and I want the things that make it me, so that when someone walks into the apartment, they're like, yeah, Erica lives here.
I'm all for that. I think that's amazing. And, like, we should maybe find where the limit is, because you're right. A race car bed's probably pushing it. You know?
Right. Like, if I had, like, a canopy over my bed that a unicorn's on it, that might be strange. But
it might be strange. It might. Right. And so maybe there's a line somewhere. I'm sure there is. Or maybe there's not a line. It's just you have to do way more work to prove that you're mature if you have those things, which, like...
Yeah, you know, for me, I still want to be able to, like, invite a man over.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, there are... So, like, I genuinely enjoy the things in my room. I don't think I would enjoy a race car bed. I don't think I would. Honestly.
I don't think you would either.
But I kind of would enjoy glow-in-the-dark stars on my ceiling. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I might.
This is the new decision, is that you're going to do it.
That's what I mean. It's like, don't call me immature for having, like, stars on my ceiling when, like, you've gone back to your cheating boyfriend 10 times, you know? Like, not you specifically.
Shots fired. Like, I don't know
just
who
saying,
at.
Like, no shots. I'm just making up scenarios here, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there are different things that make someone mature. And I think if you have a bedroom, you should decorate it however you want, whatever that entails. Now, if you do have some childish things in there, I hope that you can separate those childish things with childish emotions and childish behaviors, and you still have your goals, and you're attacking them, and you're making sure that you're a productive member to society, and you're a great friend, and you're feeding your relationships in a positive way. But if you're doing those things, live your life.
Live Moss.
Live.
That's a Taco Bell saying.
Wait, I love it.
I have a question for you, though.
Yes.
When can you pinpoint, doesn't have to be a day, but, like, a time when you feel like you started really becoming an adult?
Absolutely. And I think this is, like, actually a big thing for me, I think, because when I was a child, I don't think I had a childhood necessarily. Like, not when I wanted anyway. My life at home was kind of rough. Like, I had a stepdad who was, like, an alcoholic, and my mom was, like, very bipolar.
I did not know about the stepdad. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
So sorry. That's okay. No, I just didn't know.
But, like, growing up, I didn't love my life, and I wasn't able to be a child to the extent that all my friends could. And I think that's why I got so involved in schools, because I loved school. It was my escape from home. I got to play baseball and join band and join ASB and anything that could get me out of the home life. And I think I didn't have a lot of control over my life then. There came a time in my life where I moved out and I started to basically support myself. And I got to make all the choices for my own life. And then I decided, oh my God, now I can do all of the things that I wanted to do before that make me happy. And there's no one, like, controlling that or telling me that I can or can't. So it's interesting when people, like, tell me that I'm childish, because, like, I know I am. Like, I am in a lot of ways, but I also...
But that's because you finally
I moved out at 17, and I've supported myself ever since. You know, like, I paid my way through school. I got my own car. Like, I've not asked for help since. And if I've done that for the last 10 years, that to me makes me an adult. And I know that I am. So I'd rather have my emotions and be pumped about things. And, like, I'm going to dress up for Spider-Man when that movie comes out this year. Like, I'm going to go in a Spidey suit. And, like, to me, that's the fun of it, because now I'm in control. And there's nothing better than being in control of your own life. And I don't think you should let people take that from you.
I don't think I've ever not respected you, But hearing that monologue, I respect you even more.
Thank you. Thank you.
Especially because to me, you're kind of like my kid brother, right? Like you're just like funny Jon, you know.
And
like
I enjoy that role. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and but I just like feel really proud of you. I'm not going to get emotional right now, okay?
Thank you. No,
but,
and I think that's why I don't care is because like I know that I'm proud of myself, you know, through like a lot of the things that you know that led me to the place that I'm at now, and that's why I'm so stoked to be stoked about the things I'm stoked about. That was a lot of stoke.
Wow. So when I say I respect you, no, I'm kidding. But I mean, you just are exactly who you are, and you show up that way, and you don't care.
I try not to. You know, there's of course
you do
a
a good
level
job.
That you do. I feel like that's why
Everyone
I enjoy
cares
the
a
people
little.
we work with because we work with some people who are just genuinely who they are, and I really do respect that. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to lead people in the wrong direction because there are some people, like I know a lot of people who lived a similar lifestyle than me that failed out of school, you know, and like, aren't doing things with their life, and a lot of those indicators matter, you know, like
it's the goals thing. You have to have the goals to get through.
You have to have the goals.
Yeah.
We were at a Taco Tuesday this week.
I saw your Instagram story and it looked really nice.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we were at a Taco Tuesday this week, and there was this guy next to us, and he was just like obliterated on a Tuesday, right? Like just not okay.
Yeah.
At a table next to us, and my roommate Kyle and I, we're a few drinks in, and it was a Tuesday, and this one guy came up to us and he was like, "Oh my gosh, don't you guys have work tomorrow?" We're like, "Yeah, we do, but we'll be there. Like we make sure to get everything done ahead of time." And then he went to the guy next to us who was just like out of his mind, and he was like, "Dude, do you have work tomorrow?" And this guy's like, "No, I'm just like I don't really do anything. I'm kind of just chilling right now." And I was like, "See, it's hard to tell because there are two different guys that are out on a Tuesday,
but it's different." Yeah.
But it matters, you know. If one guy's like, you know, like having a little bit too much fun, sometimes that means something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't hate the indicators. I'm just saying, don't be so quick to judge.
I get it. It's interesting because I feel like I used to care a lot more about appearing grown up. Mm-hmm. And maybe we all did, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, it really just, you're right. It doesn't matter as long as, you know, for me, it was a lot less about like, living on my own and supporting myself and whatever, because I think I just always knew that would happen. But for me, the like feeling grown up thing has really come with actually handling things maturely. Totally. And again, I don't succeed all the time. I have come on here and roasted ex-boyfriends, and like that probably wasn't the most mature way to handle it. But also, if you mess with me, I'm going to probably mess with you back. So
and that's human, you know, like that to me is still also grown up. Like
totally.
No one's perfect.
No one's perfect. No.
But I do enjoy seeing that because I do think a lot of us, and first of all, we were excited to grow up. Like you want a car, like you want to be able to be 21 and go out and have a drink. Like you want to be able to have a house and like a family. Like that's kind of exciting. Like you do want those things.
Very.
So I get wanting to grow up. But I think we get caught in this thing where if we're not having those things, we don't feel grown up yet. And I just think that we should sometimes, you know?
For me, I think it's the, like not having a partner and not having, and not that many of my friends have kids yet, but like being on that path yet is what makes me feel like, am I like behind? It goes into the whole thing of our first episode of season 2. And guess what? Live your own life.
And they're going to have kids. I mean,
I almost just said Liv Moss again.
Liv Moss. I think that should be the episode of the title of the episode.
I think so.
Liv Moss.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you feel like you got everything out there about this?
I know. I kind of spilled it for a reason. For a little bit,
it's good.
It's like something I think about for a while because, you know, it's something that we feel a lot. Like grown up or not grown up. And I just hope that it brings people an opportunity to feel grown up and be excited about the things they have accomplished and not necessarily judge the things that they haven't yet. Yeah.
I'm going to, I turned 28 this month. So I'm going to try to take 28 a little smoother than I had been after this conversation. I was feeling pretty intense about it, and I'm feeling a little better.
I was just going to call you old as shit, but I will retract based off
you
of
are
your positivity.
Literally 6 months, 8 months younger than me.
Oh,
so
you better correct that. I will take all 8 months of it.
You are 8 months younger than me. I can't wait to see where you are 8 months from now when I call you old as shit.
I am Benjamin Button. I just get younger every year.
Whatever. I'm just going to start living more like you, and I'm going to start coming when I move back. I'm going to come to Taco Tuesdays with you, and
You should.
I'm going to be
At
young
the same
again.
time, I would like to live more like you because
Oh, see.
there are a lot of ways I do need to grow up.
I think that we can meet in the middle.
Yeah, we can meet in the middle.
Once a month, Taco Tuesday, not every week.
Okay. Perfect.
To finish this episode off, and this will have to be a quick one because I actually have a meeting very soon. But to finish this episode off, Jon is bringing something back, and I'm really excited.
I'm glad you're excited because I was reluctant to bring it back.
We even got a DM.
We did get a DM back.
Yes.
Yes. And I've vowed to only bring back Kitten of the Week if there was a worthy kitten. I'm not just gonna pull kittens out of the kitten bag.
Nope.
They got to reach out to
There's
me.
a kitten bag?
I don't know, whatever kitten's
Okay.
ready. The kennel,
Sure.
perhaps. But this week,
No.
we found that kitten. Let's get into this week's Kitten of the Week. So this week's Kitten of the Week goes to a street cat named Benson. Now,
Okay.
pull out your Instagrams, touch that little magnifying glass on the bottom left of your screen, and type in at a street cat named Benson. All words are separated by underscores.
Yes.
And you're going to find Benson. First of all, can we just recognize the name Benson for a minute?
That's a
just
good
like
name.
A+, 10 out of 10 cat name right there. I love it. He was born in the UAE, which is a country in the Middle East. He's a gentleman and a rescue, and he's currently living in the United States of America. He's got a whole 109,000 followers on Instagram, and some might call him a hype beast because his street fashion game is just unmatched.
He is so cute.
This one, guys, is worth the follow. I would not bring this to your attention unless it was an all-star Kitten of the Week. He's in my top 3 of all time.
He's
In fact,
so sweet looking.
He's so sweet. And also, he's been the featured screensaver of my phone for at least the last 2 months. So if that doesn't tell you that he is the kitten to follow, he's the kitten to follow. So here's the thing, though. This is a fitting week to bring Benson up on our podcast because not only are we crowning him the official Almost On Air Kitten of the Week for our podcast, but he's also in the running for a Cat of the Month contest on Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, so
check
we need
this
to go
out.
vote for him.
We got to go vote for him. We got to show
Okay.
up and support our cat here. So
Okay.
There's an Instagram account called We Rate Chonks. We Rate
Okay.
Chonks. And it's like this just account that rates chonky cats.
Yeah.
Which is like fantastic. Go give them a follow. Anyways, they branched off and they made the separate account called @Cat of the Month, where they host tournaments for people to vote for their Cat of the Month. Right now they got 14,000 followers, so they're on the climb. But check this out. This is their very first month. They're doing the Cat of the Month contest.
Okay.
So our boy Benson's in there, dude. And check this out. He's in the finals. He's in the finals already. Out of
Like the
all
last
cats,
2?
He's in the last 2 of the
Okay,
entire
okay.
tournament. So this is the account's first one, and he made it through all the qualifications. He passed the quarterfinals. He smashed through the semifinals, and now he's one of the top 2 cats to win their very first Kitten of the Month prize. And I
How
just
do
feel
we
like
vote?
this is time to just go and support our dude. So you can vote at, where's the account? At Cat of the Month on Instagram.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. They're probably going to post it today, and it only lives for 24 hours. So by the time this podcast is posted, you're only going to have a couple hours to go vote for a guy.
Oh, okay.
I feel pretty confident that he's going to win. However, if you're listening to this podcast on a Friday, go follow our boy Benson. Go vote for him on @Cat of the Month. And even if you listen to this a little bit late, go follow Benson.
Go follow
He's
him.
like, he's going to make your
He's so cute.
day. He's worth it. He's worth it.
Yeah. That's going to do it for today. So we leave you on go vote for our boy Benson or get out. Don't get out. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
That feels
Wow.
aggressive. I'm sorry.
did
I'm
get
sorry.
aggressive.
I got attached to him.
I was into it.
And in the meantime, I mean, Jon's been doing an amazing job editing all these videos together. So you can go to our Instagram @AlmostOnAir. We probably will make you laugh at least once a week.
That's a fair assessment.
And that's exciting.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you can click that link in our Instagram bio. It takes you to our playlist. It takes you to our YouTube.
Yeah, it definitely does, actually.
Great.
The YouTube is so much fun, guys. You get to
Yeah, some of
watch.
you said this week you watched with your own glass of wine, and thank goodness, because otherwise that feels like it would have been a journey for you.
I'm not going to
So-
lie. I edited that video also while intoxicated over the wine, and I feel like some of the audio doesn't match the lips. Also, I feel like that was an internet connection problem. Anyways.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, that'll do it for us for this week. So thank you for listening. John, anything else?
That's it for me. We'll see you guys
All
next
right.
week.